Tamra calls Deco a little bitch, and Megan calls Peggy a little odd. And we're here to talk that and more right here on The Real Housewives of OC, talking the real Vikings of Orange County, starting now.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Right now.
I get it how I live it.
Wait a minute.
Not what I expected. Hello, AfterBuzzers. Welcome to the after show for the OC ladies. We're wrapping things up. We're wrapping things up in Iceland.
Little Rihanna.
And next week we wrap up the whole season. So there's hope. Right?
So we wanted to pick up the pace with an
Yes.
upbeat song.
Yeah, what is the song?
Lemon, Rihanna, and NERD.
I didn't know NERD still made stuff. So
They're
good
back.
for them.
They're back.
Well, you guys can find us on a lot of different platforms doing a lot of different things. If you want to find me, you can find me on my podcast, Grant's Rants Hollywood Talk.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Thomas Orlina here. Follow me everywhere at Thomas Orlina. And if you like reality TV and Housewives, watch my YouTube show. It's called Your Time with Thomas.
Hey guys, I'm Lian Castillo. You can find me on all social media platforms at Hollywood Lian. Check out my blog at hollywoodlian.com.
Wonderful. Sounds
Yeah.
good. All right. Well, here we go, kids. Let's talk about it. What happened in Iceland. We're still at this hotel. I've come to the conclusion that I don't think Iceland will ever see me. You know?
I don't think
You know
Iceland
what?
will see
I was like totally not on board with it, but this actual episode with all the drone shots and that hotel being out in the middle of nowhere, totally boring. I don't think I could do it.
I don't like the hotel. I've had a problem with the hotel every
I would have
week.
drank myself into an oblivion as well.
Yeah, there was one shot at some point in this episode. It was like 10:30 p.m. and it was like full sun. That's really weird.
Yeah, no.
The interior, I don't mind. I mean, I'm fine with the interior. I think the rooms were really interesting, but the outside isn't the most glam place to go on a vacation.
I would like to look this hotel up, actually.
It was like yeah, I'll look it up. It was
Hotel
like a
Rogue or whatever. And
It was like a
Iceland.
bad wooden cabin or
I
something.
want to know, like, is this like an exclusive resort? How many stars? Like, I'm just so curious. I'm like, while we're talking about that and looking into it, I'm actually genuinely interested. We'll talk about how Lydia is walking around in a little black velvet dress. I'm like, where are you going? I was like, right,
to the
distracted.
club.
Yes.
To Club Iceland. That's where she's going. She actually looked kind of cute.
She looks good. She looks
I
good.
wish that they showed us some nobleman type things that they were doing for her magazine, because that's why we were there.
Oh, I'm totally okay not seeing anything about the Nobleman magazine. Like,
I
I'm
mean,
totally
they were
okay
there
with
for
it.
this nobleman magazine, and we got to see nothing, you know?
Yeah, I'm okay with not seeing anything of Nobleman either.
Why?
I'm just
She
not
doesn't
really
need
a
it.
fan of like,
You gotta
she
pull
can't-
your weight if you want to promote
Yeah.
your stuff.
I don't know. I'm just really not on board with. She just really shoved the business down our throats this season, and I just wasn't really all for it.
Yeah. Oh,
She could have brought a little bit
totally.
more than just the business.
I agree.
And being the mediator.
And the mother. I mean, it's a little bit more than that, please. I agree.
Yeah.
So whatever. What can we say? So Peggy comes over. She's like, "Do you want to come over?" I'm like, they walk over like one room. I'm like, okay. And Peggy says that she's choosing not to make up with anybody. Well, there's your first problem. And what is this? Oh, she said that there was a shindig of drama. Now, I have not heard that before.
Okay, I pulled it up.
Oh
What
my
do you
god,
need?
I'm so interested. Okay.
So what do you
How
need
does
to
it
know?
work? I want to know, like,
It looks exactly like it looked on the TV.
well, we saw that restaurant about 8 times.
Just look at the
Yeah.
rates. We just want to know how much it costs to
Yeah.
stay
is
here.
it-
Okay, perfect.
How do they
perfect.
We just need
describe
rates.
it? Yeah, is it like a resort spa?
Let's
Like,
see.
how many stars?
It says 4.5 stars.
Okay, all right.
I'm not sure if that's accurate. It looked more like 3.5 stars to me.
Yeah, I mean, we're just used to bigger hotels on these shows. But anyway, let us know as you do your research, and we'll dish. So Vicki feels that the girls don't understand Peggy, and that she is like backing out of the whole thing because she feels that the girls are hazing Peggy. Well, you know, Vicki's hazed everybody on this show at one point, so you know you really can't knock someone for hazing the new girl when you're the ringleader of
They
it.
always haze
Yeah.
the new girl, and Vicki was part of it for so long.
So long.
She's like retired from hazing.
She's
these women.
retired.
But here's the thing: when Peggy like decided that she was gonna sign up for this show, did she think or did she watch any of the past seasons? I feel like they just threw her in there and she had no idea what she was getting herself into.
Well, she's kind of dumb for that. But they usually always say, "No, I never watched." But I don't know if she actually said that. I would actually believe her though, because it's like, really, I don't understand what you're doing. I'm totally confused by her behavior. I don't know if it's just like brilliant performance art, but I just really do not get it.
I like that.
I'm confused. I'm just.
We can definitely say by now that she is not really a good fit for the cast.
She doesn't
Lousy.
She doesn't know how to express herself.
That's my description of this casting. Lousy. And I don't want to be so negative. Like, I don't want to hate on this, but, like, I mean, the jury has... Judge Judy reached her ruling, like, judgment for nobody, like, your case is dismissed, like...
$368 a night.
That's pretty high.
That's okay.
That's
Wait,
not-
is that USD? Or is that something you have to, like,
Yeah,
translate?
it's USD.
Oh, that's... look, we're talking about a franchise here where freaking Lisa Vanderpump had, didn't one of them have like $500,000 a night?
Hello, Dubai. Like, remember the suites in Dubai? There was like
But
a
we
Shark
expect
Tank.
this from OC. They don't really go that crazy. I mean, the Bali trip and
The Bali trip, yeah.
Yeah, but as far as OC goes, I feel
I
like the
know.
budget
Yeah.
isn't there for OC. I mean,
I
we see the
guess.
glam.
They don't need the
episodes.
budget. They're all super rich. OC is one of the wealthiest neighborhoods in all of California.
I know, that's why I'm surprised that that's where they went, but at least we got it off the list. So next time, let's go to somewhere tropical and not Mexico.
Yeah.
We've seen Mexico. We've looked at Mexico. I'd like to still want to go to, like, Africa. Like, I'd be curious. See, I know
Yes,
they
a
did,
safari.
I know
be
they did it
cool.
on Atlanta
That would be
a while
great.
back. Yeah, but I think that would be kind of cool.
I even liked when New York girls went to Marrakesh. Like, that was totally different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Luann fell off the camel.
I could
Iconic.
see them going to like India or somewhere like something like that.
No,
Well, did
I don't
they
want to
do
go
that?
anywhere where you need a shot to go before. Like, you have to go get shots
yeah.
before. I can't. Actually, my friend went to India and she got dysentery within 96 hours.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
See, I love Australia and New Zealand. Like, that would be my A1 choice as we go to those places. And yeah, I mean, I don't recall, I'm sure someone will correct you, but I don't recall anyone going to New Zealand other than the Real Housewives of Auckland. But I don't really, like, that's like, they're based there. I don't remember anyone going there. And it's such a beautiful country. So, like, that'd be something cool. It's also very, like,
I heard it rains spiders. Is that true?
oh, I don't know. I've never been. I would only love to go.
I don't know.
It's
I would
beautiful,
love
but
to
it
go.
is very, like, from what I've seen, like, they've got all the same stores as everywhere else. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they've got the Coach and they've got all the Louis Vuitton. All that. So it's a lot of, like, the culture isn't, like, drastically
New
different. like
Zealand is
Iceland.
more like the scenery, though, kind of like Iceland. That kind of. It's
gorgeous.
It's like Lord of the Rings kind of scenic.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I would love to go there. But Australia, I would love to go there too. I love Australia.
Oh, me too.
I want to go to
I
Sydney.
like Australia. Yeah. So Peggy is Peggy has announced to Lydia only at this point that she recorded the laughing of the women laughing at her, which, whatever, mainly because she was really upset that Kelly Dodd said that they were going to have their husbands talk, and then she were going to have their dads call one another, and Kelly knew that her dad had passed away.
Kelly was super drunk. I don't think she realized it. She was,
was
just
a blackout.
Yeah, she was wasted.
Yeah, whatever. My biggest thing here is this. When it comes to Peggy over here, talking about, like, the whole situation about recording and all this, and about
Stupid.
promoting the fact that their husbands should talk. You are cast on this, like, I said this on a podcast this weekend. I was on the Friends of the Real Housewives podcast, shout out. I was talking about this. I get so angry about it, so I'm not going to get angry here. But you're cast on the show. You're one of many people that have gone through this process.
Buck
You
up.
are responsible
she
for being a housewife,
understands
not your
that.
husband.
Yeah, and we know what happens when housewives' husbands get involved. They call them little bitches. This is not the
Yeah.
first time. Peter Thomas was the first
Yeah.
one to get
I don't
involved
like
and to be
this.
called out.
I don't like that she's not taking the most advantage of this position.
But you know
Yeah,
what?
you know what
though?
I mean?
Even just before we get to all that, just the recording thing. There's a camera crew following you around. Why are you recording on your cell
They're
phone?
gonna get it. Yeah, I know.
They got exactly what she recorded. They have that shot of Tamra on the floor laughing, saying, "That's the funniest thing ever." That's what she recorded.
No, well,
Right.
she needed to record that in the moment to show these women because this doesn't air till later, But I don't think that she recorded
well.
it properly because she didn't get anything
didn't get
besides
anything.
a sofa and
Good point.
like
Yeah, Thomas, good point. But seriously,
champagne on the table, If she wanted to record it, I just feel like she doesn't know how to express herself correctly, even when she's angry or she's like just regular. She just doesn't know how to express herself to these women, and it gets
Yeah.
lost in
I
translation.
get that. There's a language barrier. I just don't know if I buy it. You've been here since you were 1 year old.
True.
You grew up in Southern California. You went to UCLA. What is the deal?
Yeah.
Girl, you are
I
Americanized.
really don't want to get upset on this podcast again. Like, I always
don't
go
get
off.
it. I mean, she didn't even explain it right to Deco when she went home. All she did was talk about Vicki, and he was like, "You need to give Vicki a chance."
Yeah.
I'm like, she's not even explaining it to you right, dude.
I think this is a one and done for Peggy.
Yeah,
It is
weird.
because
I like her. I just don't think that she is right for this show because I don't think that she's able to express herself correctly. And, you know, she has a brand. She has all this money. She needs to just do her thing off camera.
you need to have someone to talk to besides your husband. Like, even someone like Eileen Davidson on Beverly Hills. Like, she didn't have the most going on, but when she did, when she was in the thick of the drama, she did have Lisa Rinna to go to lunch with, to talk to, and then towards the end, it was Erica, too.
I liked Eileen just because she would always be like, "Let's just talk about it." I'm like, they're building a house right now for Habitat of Humanity, and she's like, "Let's talk about it right now."
I love Eileen.
I was just watching the on YouTube the dinner that they had with Kim and with Yolanda, that crazy
In
dinner
Amsterdam?
in Amsterdam. That just brought back memories.
Don't talk about my
That's
husband.
what I'm saying. So if we're this far in the season and she doesn't have an ally yet, I mean, then she's just not connected to the canvas of the show, and then she really shouldn't be asked back because it's that simple.
She's not
Yeah.
playing the game right.
No.
She's not, and she can't rely on Vicki, and we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
For anything because
So
Vicki
strange.
has done
Vicki's not
so
gonna do
much.
anything.
Vicky's retired.
Vicky's she's like done for the season. She's like, I want nothing to do with anything. I don't know anybody. I'm not talking anything. I'm gonna go hide in this van
love
in
How
the
long
back
was she
row.
in the van? That's what I want to
She's
know.
like hiding.
I know. I didn't even see her when she walked in. When she walked in, I didn't even see. She was like in the second to the last seat, like hiding behind the
Yeah.
seat. Totally strange.
So this Viking dinner happens, and they're like, "Are you ready for action?" And they walked in. I was like, "I hope
I was
so."
ready. I
Yeah.
saw 90 men. I was ready.
There were a lot of men, and it was really odd, wasn't it? As they're all sitting there in these sweaters, and I was like, "Wait, are they like? Is this a
was a
performance
private.
piece?"
I know.
I didn't know it was like a dinner theater.
It was
dinner
super
and a-
intimidating at first, but then they all started singing, and I was like, oh, they must be all chorus boys.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. Like, they were like straight up pitch perfect a cappella, like they were getting down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like the sweater makers or something. Like,
That was
that's
fun.
what their pitch a cappella group
Kind of
name
looked
would've
like an Old Navy commercial or
been. Yeah,
something
it
Yes.
was crazy.
for their performance,
Yeah.
please.
Sweater extravaganza.
Yes. So Vicki and Tamra share a laugh and try on different hats and stuff, and Shannon claims to be okay with this. So is she like cracking a little bit, or is she just
She
like,
was dying
going
on the
along to go
inside.
along?
She was
she just
dying
couldn't
on
help
the
it.
inside.
Yeah, dying. For
It was
sure.
so cute, wasn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Vicky and Tamra,
yeah.
I loved it. It was so cute. Them trying on the hats.
Yeah, they had shots out of horns. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, even when they were
Yeah.
talking about like their issues, even though Vicky was still saying the wrong things, like she just doesn't know. Like, she's
know.
ridiculous. Like, even in that moment when she's like, "Yeah, I just, Brooks hurt you and she ruined our relationship," and she's like, "I know," and I'm like, "Oh, she's on the right path." Like, this is like, you just need to say the right thing sometimes to just make it really go away. But she just doesn't actually execute it. Like, it just really did not work.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's to her own detriment because of her character. Maybe she is not one. I mean, we've seen it. I mean, I don't
Somehow
think she's
it
probably a
worked.
very humble person. I don't think that she's gonna, admit anything. I really don't think that she's gonna be the bigger person in these scenarios.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's as good as it's gonna get. Like,
Yeah.
the current status, I think, is as good as it's gonna get.
You're totally right.
So Tamra, so then she's like, "Oh, Vicky, have you met my friend Shannon? Have you met Shannon?" So, what an awkward way to
Totally
pull
awkward.
someone
So
into
awkward.
a conversation. Why would
She
you do
was
that?
doing the most.
Yeah, so Vicky's like, "Well, we were friends first. Don't forget, we were friends first." I'm like, "Well, that bitch wants nothing to do with you. So that friendship is nothing to brag about." You know what I mean?
The
Like,
setup
really?
was totally awkward. The beginning was awkward, but when Vicky actually spoke, I believed her. Why did
did
Shannon
too.
buy it?
I think Shannon is just looking to just keep this negative
Yep.
storyline going on until she gets exactly the kind of apology that she feels she deserves.
Yeah.
And not in front of all the women and not half drunk.
Well, that was the thing, because Vicky said like, "Oh, I'm sorry, if I misinterpreted the phone call," which is I don't know how you can
Once
misinterpret
again,
it,
saying
just
the wrong
think-
thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think that because in a way it's like her having to bring it up. She just can't say for everything. For the call, for everything.
Just say I'm sorry, and period. Not
Yeah.
say anything afterwards. So you just don't
Yeah.
get yourself in trouble.
But I feel like you also, especially with Shannon, you have to really draw the line of what you're sorry for, because she's gonna say, "Well, she talked about my husband. Why didn't she say that? That was a big point." Like,
Yeah, she
but I feel
never
like
shuts up.
She's
It's
very
like, you're damned if
nitpicky.
you do and you're damned if you don't with her. Like you bring
yeah.
it up, it's a bad thing. If you don't point
Especially
it
with
out.
Shannon.
Yeah, so I mean, and I like Shannon, but I mean, it's tough. I mean, this episode at the end was tough too.
She just wants you to let her know.
Yeah.
But when we do let you know, it's too much for you.
She wants
and
you to
you're
let you
done.
know in her way.
But let's be real. Vicki formally apologized. Whether people were at the table,
Thank
whether it was
you.
private or not, like Vicki has apologized. Make this note.
Thank you.
On this day
She
of
did.
November, the whatever.
And it was, I really believe, I know it was awkward. I know it was a weird setup. And even the beginning. But when she actually like broke it down and she put her hands together and she was like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm just sorry. I believed her.
Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
it too. I wish that they could have just called it truce then, but you know, in housewife history, this is just the
Yeah,
beginning.
I know. I think she was looking for an excuse to not accept it, and that was that she was at the table in front of everybody.
Yeah. We still haven't seen a one-on-one with Vicki and Shannon, and we're already all these episodes in. It never
That's
happened.
true.
Didn't happen in Ireland. Doesn't look like it's happening next week.
Yeah.
I don't think it happens until we
never
get to the
gonna happen.
reunion, and that's not even
know.
a one-on-one.
Yeah. I don't know why that never happened.
Yeah, we talked about the Tamra one-on-one with Vicki. I know you mentioned that, Lian. So yeah, we're cool with that. Kelly says that Shannon is jealous as she's watching all of this go down.
She
Between
is.
Shannon watching,
She
and
is.
Vicki and Tamra apologize for hurting one another. So, okay, are we done? Can we close that chapter? I only wish.
So in the reunion, do we know that if Vicki and Tamra went at it? Is that what happened there?
And there's rumors that Shannon, Vicki, and Tamara, spoiler alert, you might want to do the 15 plus here. There are rumors that the three of them have reached a position of apology. I don't know what the
okay,
current
good.
status is. But, okay. Yeah, you're
Well,
safe.
it would be seriously like the right thing to do. You've only been dragging this out for 3 years.
Yeah.
We're all over it. So
And that could
maybe
be-
you can get over it.
That could be really refreshing for the next season when we actually see them get along, you know? So
Yeah, if that happens. A lot
Yeah, because
can
I don't
happen
hear
between
anything
now and
from
then.
this last season being brought up.
I know. Oh, yeah, but the thing is, I don't hear anything online from post-reunion. Like, I don't see anything on social media. Like, I don't know anything.
Well, the only thing I've been seeing is nobody wants to film with Peggy.
Oh, really?
And the whole homophobic thing is still out there.
and is it true?
I don't know, but this is
She
one of the
claims it's not.
excuses
Yeah.
from the cast members. You know, from several different blogs are stating that the cast members don't want to film with Peggy.
Well, then she really needs to make her exit from the show then.
Did you see her apology on Watch What Happens Live?
I did. Oh, yeah, you sent
you
it to
feel-
me via Snap.
Oh, yeah.
And I watched it a couple times. I've won it once or twice.
Did you
so I
feel
need
like
to.
it was prepared and rehearsed?
I do feel like it was prepared. It was carefully put together.
When she talked about her brother?
Yeah.
I'm so tired. Can I just say, I am so tired of people saying I'm such an advocate for the LGBT community. Like, I'm so tired of it. It's such a line to me. You know what I mean? Prove it. Show it. And I'm just, that's what I feel like saying in general. Like, show that you're at an LGBT center handing out water bottles or helping people and, like, reaching out. You know what I mean? Like, everyone's so pro everything. And
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad that
Actions speak louder
yeah,
than words.
but I don't know anything about Peggy. I've never met the woman. I don't know anything about it. I feel like she's a traditional woman. If that's something in tradition, I don't see why she would circle the other boxes and not that one. I just don't know. I'm not going to speak to her character. I don't know the woman, but it has nothing. My distaste in her has nothing to do with that. I mean, that's not positive. I can't prove
Yeah.
it, but I mean, as far
Your
as
distaste is
Well,
her
I
not
just
delivering on the
yeah.
show.
I just feel like what you're saying, Grant, and for people out there, just so people don't get the wrong idea, I think what he's saying is there's been a history with Housewives showing us their support, showing us. Lisa Vanderpump showing us her support.
Yeah,
Erica
it
Jane
was.
showing her support. So it just seems like Peggy is just throwing out the lines. And with these certain accusations out there, she didn't even come on Watch What Happens Live for like months to clear it up. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I
well,
would have
that's-
shot that
it's not up
down
to-
really quickly.
Yeah, I mean, she can't invite herself, but you know.
Well, people were tweeting Andy like, "Let's clear it up now,"
Yeah, yeah.
and she didn't respond for.
They
the
could have
longest
easily
time.
done like a Daily Dish article on BravoTV.com. I mean, they report every little thing. I mean, they make a
Yeah.
whole article about someone's Instagram post. Like, I mean, come on. But I mean, I will say in Peggy's defense, she does claim that her brother is kind of a troublemaker, she says. So, like, it is possible for him to be a gay man and her just not like him because of family drama.
Yeah,
True.
totally.
We'll have to see. I
Who
think
knows?
Andy might ask her again at the reunion. I wouldn't put it past him.
I think he
Yeah,
should.
I mean,
'cause
I
not
actually
everyone
don't
watches
really-
What Happens Live, so they have to
I don't really
address
think. I mean, from what we've seen, how can we come up with this conclusion by just watching what we've seen? This is strictly what's already out there on the blogs. This is not how I feel. We're just talking about what's already out there.
Disclaimer.
I don't know why people are writing this, but there's always where there's smoke, there's fire. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I hope for her sake though, because she is going through so much family stuff with her father's passing. Like, if this is false, like, I feel bad for her for someone putting this nasty rumor out there.
It's such
Yeah.
a hard time now that I think about it and see that she was filming the show, like her father passing away 2 months before filming.
Yeah.
It was just maybe the wrong time. Maybe her personality wasn't. Maybe she has a personality for a reality show. It just came at the wrong time. You know what I mean? Because with
Yeah.
everything that she's going through.
But even at home, when you're comfortable with your husband and your walls are lowered and you don't feel like you have to put on an act because you're with all these women, she still didn't really come across super clear.
Yeah.
She has a problem expressing herself
Right.
with like a clear intention.
Here's the thing: they cast her for a lifestyle, not for a personality.
Totally agree with you.
That's the problem. It doesn't work. I mean, come on. This
The
show's going for
car
12
company,
seasons.
the rims,
You
the
know what I mean?
house.
I definitely,
I'm not a
again-
casting person, but even I
diamonds.
can tell you that if you're going for a show on an ensemble group of people with fiery personalities, that will not work.
I do think, I'm going to say this, and I said this last week, I do think this show is going to lead them to a reality show. Like, maybe not on the level of, Housewives or this type of platform, but I feel like, part of me thinks that they have a really interesting, flashy, she said
think
she was
that's what
going
they-
home on her jet. This girl has a lot of money. and
She's
her
not going
kids-
home on any
Okay,
jet.
I
She's
think
going
that's
home
what
on
she
a
wants
jet.
to
She's
portray.
going home on
You think so?
American
Yes.
Airlines in
I
like
mean,
a business
With-
class seat.
With
if
shows
she's
like
lucky.
Shaws of Sunset out there, this is clearly what she wants. I'm not saying that's not that's going to happen. I really think that's what she wants. She
I
wants
really
a spin-off
do
show.
think, I think that she
I don't
could
think it's
get
going to
one.
happen. She's not interesting enough. She's weird.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like
Giovanni Wheels.
I
That's
feel
the
like,
show.
Yeah, but if it was like a business show, I just feel
I
like
don't
we're-
know.
I just feel like we're in a different time with reality TV where they're not really plucking families and people anymore. It's not like they find an interesting group of people and like they do, unless if it's like a TLC thing. But I feel like
I feel
now-
like it would be a TLC thing. Like, I don't think it's a Bravo
Okay.
thing. I don't think she's going to be the next Manzo family. I think that she has a placing somewhere in TV with Armenian culture. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, if they do like a niche thing, they could.
Yeah.
I mean,
This is like
yeah.
that would be a niche show for sure.
I'm sure Deco, which is the little bitch Deco, as Tamra calls him, would love to
Oh
do
my
it.
Oh my God, they were so wasted.
Yeah,
I'm
but-
like, are you taking a page out of Atlanta?
Before Peggy
She
made it to
was.
this dinner, though, Peggy and Lydia, they're back in that restaurant. They're like back in that like.
Depressing.
Oh my God, I'm really not about this hotel. Like, at
Cafeteria
all.
looking food. I'm like, ugh, get out of there.
I know, and like Lydia's having a meal. I'm like, okay,
She's
guess-
having like an appetizer. Yeah.
She's like, I'm gonna eat.
Yeah.
You know what I don't get? Like, if I was Peggy, I would have been like, girl, come to my room. Like, I'll get ready. You can be in the room.
Yeah,
with
I
me. Like,
know. Put on some music.
Thank
like,
you. We're on the same
Like
wavelength.
we have to vibe. We have to like be on the same page because we're walking into this dinner together.
Yeah, we
know what I
always
mean?
when we go on vacation together, we all have our separate rooms because we're adults. But we come together, like, hey, come get ready in my room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or stop by when you're done getting ready if I'm not ready yet. You know what I
Especially if
mean?
you're walking into an uncomfortable situation, maybe not for Lydia, but for your friend. You want to go in as a united front and all of that. So I'm like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, and there's no one else in the freaking hotel. It's just Lydia, and she's out there by herself eating carrots.
Yeah, and that one guy, Frederick, that owner or the man
Was
at
he
the
in-
hotel.
was he in
manager.
the shot
I didn't
again?
see him in this one.
I don't
but
think he was in
I'm
tonight's
sure he was
episode.
like screening his
Stop
scenes.
coming for him, Grant. Poor Frederick. Poor Frederick.
I bet he's trying to get Twitter verified from this. Anyway, Peggy and so yes,
coming for him.
So they enter. Shannon sings with all the. She attempts to sing or direct or compose or what? What do
I
you
don't know what she was
composer.
doing.
Yeah.
She was just trying to get attention.
The tenor over there.
But that's
Shannon
typical
Bedoya.
Shannon. We just haven't seen her in that light because she's been so angry.
Yeah.
So
I
when you see her
know.
happy, it makes viewers be like, wait, oh, there's Shannon from
Yeah.
like days
Oh,
when
I-
she was like super happy.
I liked that.
Yeah.
Tamra and Kelly welcome Peggy, and Kelly apologizes. This is my one problem with Kelly. Anyone that knows me knows that I do not care for all this apologizing. You know what I mean? If you're gonna say it, if you're gonna be a bitch, be a bitch. Period.
Well, she did. Don't throw any bombs or I'm gonna nuke you.
Yeah.
Iconic.
That's a good line.
Iconic.
That's a good line.
That's
She
gonna
only
be...
she apologized for like a half second. But
Yeah, but Peggy was super weird about it again. She was like, "Oh, that's you trying to not me, right?"
Yeah.
I would have been like, "What?"
The problem
What?
with Peggy too is that she doesn't have that group of people that are supporting the things that she's saying. If she had 2 or 3 or 4 cast members that were on her side,
That speak Peggy.
you know,
That's what-
yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying. She's not
She
connected
would
to
have
anyone
that.
on the canvas, so get rid of her. I mean,
Yeah, and if you're gonna do something like that, you better be prepared for these women to attack you. I feel so bad watching her because she's just not ready for a show like this.
Well,
where
Vicki
these women
saw
are
it.
coming after her.
Vicky saw what Thomas saw. She felt bad, you know, and instead of like comforting, she just ran out.
yeah. I mean, maybe in the earlier seasons she would have been able to hack it, but these shows now are so much about the fight of the week,
Vicious,
and
yeah.
vicious
It's
is
very
the word.
vicious.
Moving
Yeah.
on to every little thing. Everything. You know what I mean?
So then Peggy says, well, you guys were all laughing at me, and I have it on tape, and I recorded it, and so everyone's flipping out about this.
But you want to start the conversation with, your baby was crying for 10 minutes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And she called Megan earlier a 30-year-old giraffe.
That was funny.
I like that, actually. Peggy, let me give you one blessing with that line.
It was not like the best read, but it was still a read, and I laughed.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not because I'm not a Megan fan. Megan, I don't know how I feel, Megan. Megan's like there.
You know what about
Megan is
Megan?
there.
She cries really pretty. Like when she was like crying,
She
I wanted to be
does.
like, "You're crying so beautiful right now." Because she was like, "I just feel sorry for her." I'm like, "Oh my god!" And she's being classy too.
So, what did you think of Peggy saying that the video was not intent to mom shame Megan?
I don't know.
But the
what
video
her
wasn't.
intention
The
was.
video
I
wasn't of the
know!
crying.
I don't get it.
So why would she mention that when she's holding the video? Like it was all very screwed up as usual. I
don't
can't figure
know.
this girl out. And the whole thing was bad. And like I love that. I think it was Tamra that corrected her and was like, she's training her
Yeah, we're training.
baby to
Who
cry
trains
out.
a baby? What are you training her for? The marathon?
Well, I guess to cry out. I guess so they just cry back to sleep. Like they cry. I mean, is that what it
Babies
is?
cry. I don't think you need to train them to cry. Maybe she
No,
was
but,
like
like, to
trained,
stop, so
like
they-
the timing, like maybe like after 7 minutes she stops crying or something, or maybe
think
after
so.
10 minutes I'll go in there or something. I don't know. I personally,
But see, here's
Don't
the
have
thing with
kids,
the
so-
women, how they were being vicious to Peggy. They know the type of person that Peggy is, and they still did that to her. So we're not letting that slide on this show that they were being mean to her. Because there's a level of,
No, they're
okay,
totally being mean to
You know,
her.
I think that that's something to like highlight for Peggy because she didn't have to go through that, you know?
no, they were ganging up on her, and they always gang up on the new girl, so it's part of the routine. Like Grant said, like it's just gonna happen, so you need to duke it out. But the thing is, she just wasn't saying anything correctly, Thomas. Like everything she said was weird. It just didn't even make sense, and it came off as a dig. If you're gonna start the
I
conversation,
thought it was an insinuation of bad parenting.
absolutely. If you're gonna start the conversation with a recording of you making fun of me, why would I start the conversation by saying, "Your kid was crying for 10 minutes. I have this recording of you." Before you can even finish the sentence, I'm like, "What? My kid was crying? You're coming for me with my kid, and you
Yeah.
recorded me?" It's just strange.
Yeah, you took the words out of Megan's. You're a little odd. I mean, really, it's like no one can understand her. I thought it was a really crappy thing to do, especially because out of all the people to go after Megan, like, you know what I mean? Like Megan doesn't even like hold a candle to some of the stuff that's happening. Like, go
And
after
Megan
Kelly.
Megan actually moves seats because in the scene you see her move closer to Peggy to nurture her, and she goes after her.
Awful.
So it's
Yeah.
just such a bad. It was bad timing.
What a lousy person. So Kelly, apparently Kelly found out she had anger management problems a few years ago.
That was
So
hilarious.
she walked out, and now at this point in
She's
the
like,
episode,
"I was
Vicky left.
exercising what I learned,
Good
so
for
I walked
you.
away."
Good
Amazing.
for you. Like we said, Vicky's hiding in the back seat of the van, like crunched out in between the seats. Like, okay,
She was in seat 5A.
She knew the camera was coming out at some point.
yeah.
She was like, "I'm hiding back here."
Shannon yells at Peggy about her going after Megan's mothering, and then that's when the whole thing came about. How Peggy questioned if Shannon's husband is trustworthy, or do you trust your husband? And
Shannon's still holding on to that one.
Shannon always escalates everything to a whole nother degree. It didn't
Yeah.
even have to go to the velocity that it did, but just
was-
Shannon's voice alone just takes it to a whole nother
Screech.
place.
This is mean of me, but I was happy because I really don't care for Peggy and I don't care for how she handled herself. So I was rooting for the other girls not to attack this one, but to
And that's
to go
Shannon
after
for
her.
you. Shannon's
to go
passionate.
after her. Yeah, I was just like, you know what, this woman, you know, she's just all over the place. Like
She was all over the place.
she was asking to be taken down a notch. So Peggy says that David. Oh yeah. Then Peggy said, "Well, David lied to you, and he didn't tell you the truth. He didn't tell you about that conversation. Like she planted. She made it sound like he was dishonest
About the marriage first, and then quickly slipped in that it was about the situation on the deck.
Yes.
Girl, I'm telling you, it's Brilliant's performance art. She is acting like she just doesn't know what she's saying. Everything has been planned.
Do you think she's gonna show up at the reunion and like take off like a wig
Yeah, and she's-
be like speak perfect English and be like, "I effed all you bitches over in the
Ooh,
name
that would be
of
so
like,
amazing.
like you think you know me and you have no friggin' clue." And then I have more than one recording of a lamp and a wine bottle on my phone.
Yeah.
I like dirt on all you people.
The
Then
whole
like,
family's in on it. And
Yeah.
there's a spin-off.
no, there's another season for her. But I mean, this is like things that will never happen. But
Right.
anyway, let's talk about what we
Imagination
did.
at AfterBuzz TV.
Yes. So another thing. So after she assaulted Megan's mothering, then she plants the doubt of David, which is an easy target. And then Tamra calls Deco the little bitch that he is.
Hilarious.
And then Megan and that's what Megan said, that you're a little odd to Peggy. And now Kelly's back, and she's really upset about this recording that was made. And
You know what? You know what? When Kelly says, "You know what?" It is
know.
on
It is.
and popping.
She's
She's
got-
coming for you.
she's got this quick lines, like she's up and she's like all red faced and like every muscle is tense.
God.
Yes.
And so and of
She's
course,
ready.
Tamra, don't count that bitch out. She was saying
Oh,
that
she was drunk too.
she was-
Totally wasted.
She was winding her up. She was like, she's like, all those little things she said were all bombs. She was throwing bombs at you, Kelly. She was throwing bombs at you. And what did she say?
You're gonna throw bombs. I'm gonna nuke.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I know.
It's like gonna be my new favorite GIF.
Yes. Peggy is now done. She's claiming she's completely done. I'm like, goodbye. But then we have to see her in the van with Vicki, and she's really upset that Vicki didn't have her back, and Vicki's admitting that she's completely useless and she has nothing to do with anything, and not to count on her. And she felt bad for how she handled things last season with
Amazing.
Kelly.
Don't you think it's amazing she brought that up?
Yes, she
'Cause
needed
knew
to.
she knew it was gonna be thrown in her face.
Yeah.
Bravo in their montages.
Yeah.
Y'all are so shady.
No one's been on a show longer than Vicki Gunvalson.
Yeah.
So she knows what's coming.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? So that's for that alone, you have to kind of try to enjoy Vicki, like for that sense of just.
Are you kidding me? I was
she's-
totally enjoying everything.
She's there for 12 seasons, people.
I
Like,
love that Peggy's
you know-
ready to go home on her jet.
Oh,
Girl,
there's
you
no
got no
jet.
jet.
It's an American Airlines flight.
you.
Maybe Virgin. and
Maybe
it's like,
Spirit.
Stick her ass on a Spirit airline.
Like, girl, you got no jet. All right, calm down. If you had a jet, you guys would have went in the jet in the first place, Erica Jane style.
And Deco would have been there 10 minutes ago. Like,
Thank
you know what I mean?
Deco, his little short booty would have been there, definitely.
Yeah, where did I mean, I listen to so many things and read so much stuff. I don't know if it was on this show or whatever, but apparently Deco called up. Maybe this is coming out. Didn't Deco call up Steve and like they were gonna get on like an emergency flight when Vicki was in the hospital and he was like coordinating it, and then they were
I
like,
don't
no.
know.
They're like, no, you cannot do
Deco
that.
wants to be more famous than Peggy. I think this is
can
what.
tell.
Yeah, Peggy is just a vessel because Deco he wants to be a housewife. Give him an orange.
No, don't.
He does.
He
I'm afraid.
desperately wants to be part of the housewives.
He's
I
the
think.
closest to Peter Thomas that we've seen in a long time. That husband-wise, that wants to like really get into the.
Yeah.
He said in a long
Nitty-gritty.
time.
I say it all
Yeah.
the time on the show. You know, like this is their wives' project. This is their
Yeah.
wives' job. Let them have it. Like to bring up Eileen again. Like her husband was there staring out that garage window. Remember that fight? in the driveway?
Hilarious.
I mean, he was there
Oh
to
my
listen to
God.
her when it was appropriate, but he wanted nothing to do with this. He didn't really give Eileen much advice.
great.
Vince is his name. You know, he didn't have to find the need to have a conversation with Lisa Vanderpump on his wife's behalf or call up Ken to sort out their
you.
wife's drama. Like, anyway, back in the Orange County
Side
area.
note, I waited on Eileen and Vince, and they were super, super nice.
really?
Especially Vince. Like, he just made it a point to just look me in the eyes and just be super nice to me. And
Nice.
they were just very nice people.
And
Just-
shout out to Eileen, who's now on 2 soap operas, The Young and the Restless and Days of Our Lives, playing like 2
Ooh.
characters over there. I mean, like
Good for
she's doing the
her.
work.
yeah, she is doing it. And you know what? Soap opera actors, they work. Like, it is
work,
not.
yeah.
I just shot a movie on
do.
Saturday. Shout out when it's up.
Yay.
It's going to be on a really funny website called Funny or Die. And when it's up, I'm going to let you guys know about it. But like, I just waited around on set all day long. My scene was the very last scene shot, and I got there 12 hours before.
Oh my goodness.
Like, you just sit around and wait. But soap opera actors, they work so hard. They throw the script at them, and they're filming 5 minutes later. They don't get no more than 2 takes, and then you're moving on to the next
I used to
page.
intern on a few. I have
Yeah,
tremendous
it is a
respect
9 to
for
5
them.
job. Like, it
Yeah.
is like hardly. I mean, they're acting, but it is literally like a
It's a
schedule.
lot of memorizing.
Yeah,
too.
9 to
Yeah,
5
and
job.
now with the production schedules, they just do a quick dry block and then they shoot. And so if you
don't
didn't
get it-
cry where you wanted to cry, then it didn't happen.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, anyway, back to OC. But our respect for Eileen continues.
Yes, Eileen, we love you.
Yeah, I enjoy her. Anyway, back in OC, Brandy. Excuse me. Why did I write Brandy? I'm freaking thinking of
Dallas?
And the other one, Megan. She is playing the King Collection, a new candle line. I was like, what happened to the candle store at Fashion Island?
The
I live-
packaging was chic, wasn't it, Thomas?
Yeah, I live for all these brands
The
and whatever
candle
they
line.
do, earrings, brands, handbags,
Okay.
everything. Just do it. I mean, you
Empire it up.
you have a limited amount of time to create something for yourself. So I'd rather watch somebody do that than somebody not doing anything at all.
Yeah, but Megan's doing it subtly. Like, she didn't shove it down our throats like Lydia did with Nobleman.
wear a t-shirt.
Like, I wake up and scream Nobleman in the middle of the night because it's just been it's just in here. You know what I mean? Nobleman magazine.
How much would you spend if you were interested? Like, would you go if you were curious? Would you buy it for $25?
No.
By what?
Nobleman. Would you?
It's $25?
Yeah, because it's quarterly.
No, that's way too expensive. Like, I think spending
No,
more than
'cause
$3.99
we're
on a magazine
we're
is bad.
3 men on this panel. I mean, this is just, I'm sure they're trying to go for a millennial male in Hollywood. They want to have actors on the cover. I mean, so it doesn't appeal to you, Thomas, either.
No, it does.
it does.
It
You're
does. I mean, I'm not
Hello.
like the biggest fan of like Lydia this
He loves the
season,
brands.
but I love the brands. I love the Empire. I wanted to see more of what she was doing on the magazine, but yeah,
Labels.
I would buy it. I think
Labels
it's
and
interesting.
love.
Yeah,
Kardashian style.
exactly. You know, I live for the Kardashians.
So Vicki fills Brianna in on the Iceland trip, and I like how they pretend they haven't spoken yet. Like, we know that she's like.
I know. I
And
was
they're
thinking
so
that too
brave
in the
to
living room.
FaceTime.
Yeah.
They've done this so many times, so it's like, so how was Iceland?
Yeah.
After like a 9-hour conversation
Yeah.
the night before. It's great.
So, what else happened? So she tells her of the casserole, and I love how Brianna's like, "Oh, good, you finally got the casserole you wanted for years."
Brianna was giving me life. She
As
made
always.
me laugh so hard with the casserole line and the hospital line. Like, of course you ended up in the hospital. Dead.
Yeah.
Dead. I was dead.
They should
Not
just
shook.
cast her.
Hashtag not shook. Like, that's Brianna. Like, not shook if anything. Like, it's just another day.
Shooketh noneth.
No.
Because there was just no shookness at all. Love Brianna. She should be on the show.
They should cast her next season.
Absolutely. And I know people are like, she's boring. You know what? There is some subtlety in that boringness. A subtlety of comedy. Like, that was hilarious tonight when she was
Yeah.
like, Vicki was like, well, I ended up in the hospital one night. She was like, oh, well, surprise. Hilarious.
More of her, please. I think they know that she's a hit. Like, they know, like, but we're seeing more of her grandkids than our own daughter. Like, I want to see more of Brianna. But Peggy.
She's like, yeah, you're going to do that again. Because Vicki's like, I'm not going to do that again. She's like, yeah, you are.
Yeah, forget. Vicky says that Peggy feels that things were twisted on her when it came to Megan's comment about mothering. So let me repeat that. Vicky feels that things were turned around on Peggy, or Vicky says that Peggy feels things were turned around on her while talking about the mothering and the baby crying. Does that make sense?
No.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Are you kidding?
We're all confused, Thomas, because
Yes,
it was a really
it was
confusing
confusing.
ending. I just don't understand
was
why
confusing.
Vicki and her were having a conversation about it.
Yeah.
Like,
I
I,
think they
understand
needed
both
we're not there
sides.
yet,
Maybe
though,
they
because
needed
she's
to
telling-
film a scene.
Well, she's still telling her daughter this. She says, "Oh, well."
Oh, Brianna.
Yeah, she's saying that Peggy feels that everyone turned things around on her when it came to her comments about Megan's mothering. Okay.
which is true.
Yes.
But Peggy didn't clear it up right there and then because she doesn't
clear
know how.
anything up.
Yeah, she doesn't know how to freaking
And Megan
talk.
felt bad that people were even ganging up on Peggy. So, Megan knows.
She was
you know?
super classy this episode. I really enjoyed Megan, and she cried really beautifully. I said that earlier.
So over at the
I love a
house
beautiful
of,
crier.
over at Deco's and the other one's house, Peggy says that she feels betrayed by her big sister Vicki.
Big sister already for the first season.
Betrayed, using big words.
Yeah,
I don't really think Vicki
Big
betrayed her.
sister.
I think
Yeah.
if she watched previous seasons of this Housewife franchise, she would know that Vicki is trying to separate herself from any kind of drama between these women. So it was just kind of like something to talk about, something to film about, something to just have for her.
Yeah.
But, as a friend, Vicki could have done a little bit more, but you can't rely on Vicki for this type of situation. You guys aren't super, super close. I mean, she's the closest that you are with on the cast, but you guys are not best friends.
Plus, Vicki has enough to deal with. She has her own drama with every single girl in there.
She's
She's totally right. If she would have defended her, it would have been all dumped on Vicki again. And she's like really just trying to step out of the puddle, which I do
Yeah.
believe.
If there was one more other person in between Vicki and Peggy, then that could have been the person. But
And
there's
Peggy
not.
could have dug herself out of that hole that she dug herself by not being clear
Yeah.
and being all weird.
Housewives 101, you have to be able to defend yourself. Then you get numbers, then you create alliances, then you have teams, and you're able to have one couch versus the other couch at the end of it all. You
Yeah,
know
and
what I
watch
mean?
the show before you come on. Like, that's some
Please.
serious advice. Like, it's a game. There's a certain
is a
strategy.
Yeah.
Kelly, I give Kelly all the props for figuring out this game and becoming one of the top housewives this season.
Kelly figured it out.
My
she
Twitter
has,
poll, she won the poll. So she definitely, in 2 seasons, has figured out how to be a housewife.
Well, there's these people that come in. There's certain cast members that come in and they shake everything up. Those are called trailblazers. Either you love them or you hate them. Like, I have certain opinions about most of them. Like Lisa Rinna, she was one that I felt like she went way too far, but she is one that came in and shook everything up. Kelly is one that came in and shook everything up, but I love Kelly. You know what I mean?
Kenya Moore in
yeah,
Atlanta is a
Kenya. Like, these are
trailblazer.
people that you love
Yes.
or you
Catalysts.
hate, but you keep them on because it's clear. You're gonna love them or you're gonna hate them, but they're gonna bring it every single time.
Yeah. And now just looking forward, not to predict or anything, but just looking forward, thinking about the dynamics of the next season. You've got Kelly and Shannon divorcing. You've got Vicki, who keeps talking in the press how she wants to get remarried. So who knows what could happen with that.
Weird.
So, and then, we'll hopefully knock on every piece of wood in the studio that there'll be 2 replacement housewives on this show.
Or 3.
Yeah, or
You guys,
3, yeah.
sorry to say it, and like I'm one that would want Shannon to step back and take a break, but this recent news with the separation, she just bought her ticket back on the show.
She did.
She's not going anywhere.
I don't want her to go anywhere because I think it's good for people to watch people's come up story again, because she's been down in the dumps this season. We've seen her in the worst possible way. That it's going to be a good chance for her to redeem
I
her
heard she's losing weight.
personality and lose weight. And
I heard she's losing weight already.
Good. Well, speaking of Shannon, she goes for blood work finally, and she's entered menopause early. She needs progesterone, and she really needs it to keep her mood balanced. And they got the peanut gallery, Tamra over there, commenting and laughing and literally rolling her eyes at Shannon.
It was great.
So and then apparently David needs to fix his libido. Well, what man wouldn't want that on television?
Nope. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. This is why we're at where we're at. I know you're on a show, and you're fantastic at revealing. You're so great at it. Sadly, it costs you your marriage. Because there's just certain things that you do not put out there.
Yeah.
There's certain things. I mean, it's just too much.
Is it his libido, or is it just that he's not that into you?
Thank you. That's what it really is. And
know
I
what I
don't think
mean?
she just wanted to say it.
I mean, it's just a sad part of the end of a marriage. I'm assuming people who are on the verge of divorce, months away from a divorce, aren't having an amazing sex life. I would just imagine that they're not getting it in. I can just imagine. It's probably expired, and that's what all other signs are telling us as we watch the show.
Yeah, people love Shannon because she's she just puts it all out there. But I just feel like it just really cost her everything.
especially in this fragile season. If it was in another season, it probably could have passed. But
Do you feel as though that Shannon held this season hostage?
Yes. Shannon held the season back from having fun. Like, we couldn't have fun because Shannon was always upset. There was always something wrong with Shannon. She was freaking out in the garage. She was screaming in the corner. She was eating nachos and she was flipping out. And I mean, I'm done. Like, let's play the montage. Play the
now
montage.
that we're at the end of this, I can see now it was just, this is the vibe of what this season was. Next season, I don't think we're going to get this vibe at all. I think it's going to completely change.
She was in a
I
bad
think
place.
producers and people that are in charge of this show have seen the negative more than the positive, and we'll look back at this season and see how dark it was. But I think it's going to go lighter. It's like a Britney Spears album. It's like we're going from blackout to circus.
Yeah.
you know?
I totally agree
We're
with
not
you.
going back to this dark.
Shannon
my
will have her
language.
redemption. Shannon will
Yeah.
have it. Sadly, I'm just like not a huge fan, but I do feel like it's gonna happen.
She's gonna
for
come
her.
up.
But that's my whole thing, though. Like, I don't. These are ensemble shows. I say this God all the time, but like when it comes to the people holding these shows hostage, like that's when you have to push in another direction, and that's when you need good casting. And it's like we'll have these scenes with Shannon because she's on the show, but like we can't let that paint the vibe for this whole season. You know what I mean? We just can't have this dark feud, and like, you know, the minute Tamra has a moment with Vicki, like we cut to her and she's angry and she's like, I close the door at night and I'm super upset. Like, I mean, if that's what's going on, don't fake it, but I feel like you have to balance the show out a little bit more. You let that energy envelop this season like a dark cloud from the beginning.
Yep.
And now
It engulfed us. It
I'm literally
engulfed
sitting here
us.
listening to this, flashing forward to 2018 when we see Vicki and Shannon come together, and Shannon is like divorced, and
I
like
hope so.
that's how the season starts for that season.
that will be interesting.
And
I'm
you know what?
dying to know what's gonna
Everything
happen
that
with those two.
Shannon portrayed out into like our entertainment world, it came through the television.
She
like
delivered this.
she
season.
really did, but she delivered in not the best way. She
Yeah.
delivered mess, hot mess, and we felt it.
Yeah. What'd you think of Tamra in that doctor's office saying the prescription for a bad libido is divorce?
She was being a little bitchy, but it was
Yeah.
Tamra.
It's the Tamra thing.
I want to know when these final scenes were shot because I want to time that with like when they separated. You know what I mean? Like
I don't
wanna
think that
know
would
how
be
far
at
it
the. I don't know
was.
why I don't think that scene was at the end. That must have been
Really?
like somewhere in the middle. I don't know.
They do play with time.
They do.
It drives me crazy. Then lastly, Vicki and Peggy meet, and Vicki apologizes if Peggy's upset. I love those. I'll apologize if you're upset. Okay, sure.
Once again, Vicki just never saying the right thing.
No, that woman can't
Clearly,
apologize
she's
for real,
upset,
for real.
Vicki.
And so she
And
feels
it's on purpose. It's totally on purpose.
She feels bad, but stands behind the fact that she left, and she admits that. And Peggy feels betrayed once again. And Vicki, you know, says, "I am turning my back on you." She's like, "I just let you know, like I really am not doing
She
this."
really didn't like own it though, because Peggy was like really going for it in the confessional. It was like people that bark online, like so many.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's.
Oh yeah,
It was
they
all
love
talk
that on this show.
It was
Yep.
all talk because when she actually met with Vicki, she was like, "Well, I just feel betrayed," and she's like, "You think I betrayed you?" And she was like, "Well, I just feel betrayed." No, you should have owned it and been like, "Yes, I feel like you betrayed me," even though it's ridiculous. Betrayed is such a big word.
Well, it was really early in the morning. They're having breakfast.
I did like that Vicki said one good thing. I'm gonna give her credit because I love my OG. She said, "Girl, you shouldn't have left. Like that's not the right thing to do." And I was like, "Uh-oh." But then she said, "I would have gone with you." Love that.
But would she though? If she doesn't want to pick sides and get in arguments and stuff, like
Well,
I mean,
that's what she's saying though. She's like, "I'm not picking sides. I'm not getting involved in your fight. But if you're gonna leave, I'm not gonna let you leave alone."
I think
think
that was
that's a
the right
line.
thing to say.
It's a line.
It's the right thing to say in the moment.
yeah.
You guys are probably right.
She was not gonna
Vicky's
leave.
a genius.
Yeah, it's like
She
Monday
is.
morning quarterback. Like, oh, by the way, yeah, that big thing, I would have totally taken care of it. But yeah, we're good now. So just know that I would have. But would I? Who knows?
Well, if she can feed the lines, like, girl, why can't you give those lines to Shannon and
Yeah.
Tamra and just squash this?
Oh my God, it continues. Oh yeah, then there's the whole thing. Oh, we have to end this
The
whole
ending.
episode with
I
Shannon
know,
and
sad.
David and the living room scene. She's living in a torture limbo.
I was concerned for the dog the entire time. I didn't even care about Shannon and David at that point. I was just like, oh my God, Archie, I don't want nothing to happen to the dog. What's going on? Why isn't he eating? His breathing. What's going
Yeah.
on? Take him to the vet.
Yeah, she's been gramming a lot about Archie, so I think he's okay, just as a spoiler.
Okay, good. I love dogs.
Yeah.
It just looks like David is just so miserable. He can't even smile just for a second while they're filming. I mean, the guy is just really given up in that scene, and it's
Yeah.
very sad to watch,
And
for
she,
sure.
and she just takes everything the wrong way. Even when she asked him to come to the party, and he was like, well, maybe I'll just, since it's the right thing, I'll just come support and I'll leave. And she's like, oh, interesting. You're just going to leave. Like, he's leaving because he doesn't want to be around Vicki. Like, stop taking
Yeah.
everything the wrong way. You
Yeah.
are just ridiculous.
Draining.
Yeah,
It
maybe
was
he does not
draining.
want to be on the show. Maybe he's like, this show has done nothing good for me.
And the way she says his name, too. Like, I'm just concerned about him, David. Because I don't know what's going on, David. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's very sad, and it's unfortunate that their kids have to watch it unfold this way. But
Yeah.
that's what you subject yourself to being on a reality show.
Yeah. Let's get into some news and gossip. Let's do it.
AfterBuzz TV News.
So, I read a few things that apparently Shannon, I don't know if this is true, apparently Shannon's kids are quite happy that her parents have split because
Good.
they're feeling like now,
Yep.
their mom can, move on and, be happier.
Modern times.
Yeah, so that's a good thing, I hope. And a listener of the show who wanted to remain anonymous went out to a department store in Orange County this weekend and ran into Shannon.
Ooh.
And David was there, and she saw them arguing. They were together in the store, and she...
Did they reveal what store? That's very important. Was it a department
I think it was a
store?
Nordstrom's. I
Okay,
think it was
I was thinking
Nordstrom.
Bloomingdale's. Go on.
Yeah, but so apparently they were arguing, and Shannon left him and walked away. And,
Did she say, I'm done?
I could only imagine. But this is what was reported to you from Boots on the Ground reporting here. So thank you for that intel. And
Give us some more.
Apparently, Shannon was conversational, and she was more than cool to take a picture. So
good.
that's good. I feel like Shannon's approachable.
Yeah.
You know what I
is.
mean?
This
Some
was
of these
just
other
a dark
people,
season.
I don't feel like Vicki is very approachable. Tamra, I question. I really don't know. Heather Dubrow, I doubt it. So we talk about this on the
Do
show.
you watch
every week.
Heather's YouTube channel? I spent some time
Really?
watching her dinner party setup and
Stop.
just read the
How was
comments.
it?
It was interesting. She has a pretty good following on YouTube,
Really?
but it's she just shows people how she decorates her parties, and she's
How are the
very
comments?
wine. Some of them are actually pro her, but then some are just like, you're super pretentious. Just what people would say if they watched
She
her
just
on
is,
OC.
though.
Yeah.
It's just the facts.
You
It
need to
is.
watch
But
it.
that's
clip.
I'm okay
will.
with that in a way. Like I don't know.
I guess.
She was like renting her furniture, and she's like, these were rented. Like, she's just very like over the top.
Yeah.
Because it's her
Sure.
channel, you know?
Mhm. Oh, she can do whatever she wants. Yeah.
Kelly was
So-
doing a recent article today, actually, rating the Housewives men and who she would date now that she's single.
Oh, really?
Uh-oh.
Good for her.
Did she say Eddie first?
She said Eddie is marriage material only. He's like, he's marriage material. She said David Bedore is cute.
Oh, God.
Weird.
Yeah. She said Ken Dodd is disgusting. And that she wouldn't date any of the Atlanta men at all. Which, of course, people just had a field day and were instantly,
Yeah.
were like, she's slightly racist. I'm like,
Of
you
course.
oh my God.
Of
Like,
course. God, I know.
She's just rating and there's preferences. I'm not getting into all that.
I'm assuming you watched Atlanta.
I did. It
We'll
was
talk
amazing.
about that off camera.
Yeah, I haven't seen that just yet.
Yeah,
You
so.
need to.
You guys can catch me on the panel for Housewives of Atlanta next Sunday night, premiering at
I just
8
segued
p.m.
that in for
Yeah,
Lian. I didn't
good
even
for
know
you.
that. That's
Yes.
amazing.
I like
Congrats.
that.
Now you guys know.
Yeah, so
News and gossip.
let's predict now, shall we?
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So it looks like this candle party is in full swing. Where is this? Like the St. Regis? It looks like a beautiful place.
I don't know. It looks like it's
It
someone's
looks beautiful.
backyard. It's gorgeous.
Could be at someone's house. Yeah, I love it.
They threw all the budget in for the candle party. I love it.
Finale's always at a party, Housewives style.
There's a lot of apologies surrounding Peggy. Okay, I'm looking because things are good on the television show, but we know that when they stop filming, something terrible happened. They haven't been speaking since production, and now we're heading into this reunion. So what does this mean? Like, I thought something drastic was going to come to light at this finale, and it just doesn't look like that intense. Unless if they cut to like a black 3 months later or like 1 month later, and then it's like Shannon and Tamra
I don't
catching
know.
up.
Shannon looks like she's gonna blow up.
Yeah,
again.
she's really pissed at Peggy for sure.
Peggy, yeah. But I'm wondering what did Vicki do? You know, I mean, she was on Wendy before the reunion, and she even said like, "Oh, we're not in a good place. We're in a really bad place."
Who did Vicki say that about?
Just the ladies in general. Yeah, I think it was maybe it would have been about Tamra specifically, but I 'cause I don't
Before
think
the
Wendy
reunion,
was.
though, right?
This was before.
Okay.
Yes. So.
Well, there's a lot of apologizing. Like you said, Deco apologizes to David, right?
Yeah.
We see that happen. So I think Peggy is definitely going to get it again from these women. Something I think is going to go down where they're going to really let her have it one more time.
I think Kelly will be the ringleader on that, maybe.
Yeah.
I think that Shannon's gonna go out in Shannon's style. She's gonna blow up like she usually does at the party, and it's gonna be fantastic. As far as predictions for the actual party, it's very vague, so I just kind of want to go with it. But I'm gonna make some far off predictions for next season, and I'm just gonna go with what we've been talking about and say that Shannon will be back next season, and she's gonna have a total redemption story, and hopefully the trio is back: Vicki, Shannon, and Tamra.
I love that.
But that's just being really hopeful.
Yeah, I mean, what happens at this reunion will dictate all that. I mean, you know,
Exactly.
If
I'm not saying it's gonna stay like that forever.
Yeah, I mean, I do think we're gonna have a new Shannon, and I hope so
A
for
new
her
Shannon, for
mental
sure.
health alone. So that changes the whole dynamic on things. This divorce or separation, whatever you want to call it, really does change everything. here.
Yeah, because she's gonna have a new home. She has her
free.
new business.
Yep.
Vicky's gonna have her new her new office. There's a lot of new things ahead for the show.
Yeah.
I just think it needs to shuffle a little.
Yeah. That's why I've been kind of waiting for the season to end. Not because I don't enjoy the show, but I just know that we're on to other things than what we're seeing.
Yeah.
And it's been a lot of more of the same, and like we're ready. I think we're
We
all
are.
collectively ready for the next chapter in Orange County. so.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, you guys can check us out for the final chapter of this season 12 over here at AfterBuzz TV. And we talked a couple of Housewives rumors on my podcast, Grant's Hollywood Talk, including a possible return of a former housewife that we may or may not have talked about on this panel. So if you want to see what that is, check me out on Grant's Hollywood Talk and Friends of the Real Housewives podcast.
Hey guys, now that you're done watching The Real Housewives of Orange County, please head over to YouTube, type in Your Time with Thomas. It's my own reality show. I take you throughout Los Angeles. We visit some fun places. We go to Vegas. Check it out and follow me at Thomas Orlina.
What would you do if Peggy was on your show?
Peggy would not be on my show.
Ooh.
Your Time with Thomas.
There you go. Guys, you can find me on all social media platforms at Hollywood Lian. Lian Castillo reporting here. And you guys can find me on a new panel next Sunday night, 8 o'clock, The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Nene,
ATL.
Kim, Sheree, who gonna check me, boo? Come for me, girl. Come check me out next Sunday night. See you guys next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.